Hello, and welcome to another dungeon delving episode from the crew here at Magic the Dungeoning. We are here to talk about our 5 personal favorite cards from Dominaaria United. Because if they will not stand as one, all will be one. I am joined by some wonderful people here today. The normal cast and crew that kind of does this. I'm joined by Ryan.
Hello.
I'm joined by Jasper.
We're getting dangerously close to reprinting that reserve list. We're this close.
And I'm joined by Shannon.
Hi.
And I'm your host for today. I am Will, and I have brought these 3 wonderful people with me today because we're going to talk Dominaaria United. And we're going to go through a couple of the unique things that this set has offered to us. Because unfortunately, we've got quite a few things that are going on with this set that we've never seen before. From art treatments to things that were once lost have now been found. So we'll get that out of the way real quick.
And not in a Dear Evan Hansen way.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
In a more like yikes, the reserve list sort of way.
So, yes, for anybody who doesn't know, there were boxes, crates of legends found in a warehouse. I believe it was in Seattle or Washington. I think it was just straight up Washington. And they put those in collector's boosters. So you will pull a random legends cards in every collector's booster. And then for this set, one other thing that's been mentioned is that theme boosters are no more. Now we've got Jumpstart for sets. And with that, Jumpstart has got 5 unique cards to it, one for each color, and all of those are standard legal. So when talking about our top 5, each of those cards was in consideration for that, for our spots.
Look how they massacred my boy, my Jumpstart. Look what they've done
with
to him.
With that, we're gonna go over the first major topic, and that is that sometimes stories that are, well, written down must be told anew.
Right.
In Legends Retold.
So, Legends Retold. Basically what it is there are a lot of cards from like the mid to late 90s, such as like Ramirez de Pietro, Hazazon, Tamar, and Zira Arisen, who are cards that were legendary creatures by all accounts. You can run them in Commander, and they're legacy legal and all that stuff, 1 of 1 rule, legend rule, and all that. But they aren't very good. So another really cool thing that Wizards is doing for this time around is that they are refreshing them so that they are, up to modern standards. For example, Ramirez de Pietro from back in the day, I think Legends back in 1984, they were a legendary human pirate with first strike, power 4/3 for 3 blue, black. Not great.
Did you say 1984?
1994.
Okay, I thought, because I was about to say this game started in 1993, so yeah, definitely not 84.
And Legends is from 1993. So Ramirez de Pietro has been rebranded or retold as Ramirez de Pietro, Pillager.
Pilferer. Oh, Pillager?
Pillager. I'm looking at the card right now.
Yeah, no, you got me.
Yep. So going from that terrible mana cost to 2 blue, black, they are a legendary creature, human pirate, with when card name enters the battlefield, you lose 2 life and create 2 treasure tokens. Whenever one or more pirates you control deals combat damage to a player, exile that top card of that player's library. You may cast the card for as long as it remains exiled. Same sort of flavor, same sort of feel. Better card, better pizza, better ingredients. Legends Retold.
I'll give you points on that one. That was actually...
We'll talk about one more Legends Retold. So, Ryan, which Legends Retold did you like the most?
So, Legends Retold that really spoke out to me, there was a few, but the one I drew my attention the most was Rasputin. And again, I apologize in advance. I'm going to probably butcher this guy's name, his new title, but it's Rasputin the Oneromancer. So he's a legendary creature, human wizard. When he ETBs, you put a dream counter on each opponent you have. On it for each opponent you have. My apologies, I misread that. Each opponent creates a 1/1 Red Goblin creature token. Then you can tap, remove 1 or more dream counters. You add that much colorless mana to your mana pool. where you can tap, remove a dream counter from Rasputin, and you create a 2/2 white knight creature token with protection from red. Like this card a lot because it speaks to a older Legends card. Specifically, the knights in the artwork have a mask that reminds me of, and I always forget his name. Unfortunately, I suck with it. Tivadar.
He's
Yeah,
from
we went over this. Yeah.
Time Spiral.
Yes, he is from Time Spiral, but he hates goblins. Like he literally has the ability on his card to destroy goblins. I saw that. I'm like, I love that callback. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong though.
Yeah.
The fact that he creates goblin tokens for your opponents leads me to believe that he will probably.
Yeah, I think that they're related in the sense. So like that's why
They're both from Dominaria, at least.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that's why I like Rasputin the most. Like there was a lot of legends that I could have picked from. There was a Dragon Planeswalker, which come on, I'm the Dragon Master of the group.
Yeah, there were a lot of cards. I like how there was
You come from my title, bitch.
They strategically didn't reprint some legends. Like
Yeah.
I don't think this is a one and done. I don't think this is a one and done thing.
Yeah.
I would respect it not to be a one and done thing. Like, for example, what's that one legendary creature that's just like the story about like the woman who just seduces knights and then kills them?
Gwendolyn something.
I would like to see a really cool like creature possession commander out of that. 10 times less horny.
Which would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think I might know the card you're talking
she's
about.
Naya.
She's Naya.
She's effectively a hooker who kills the people she seduces, which is
not
very much a siren, but no, she doesn't do it through magic. She does it through stabbing.
She's just a hot magical lady. I would like to see
regardless,
but like less horny.
So let's go. Let's get off of that. We're gonna start talking about the set's mechanics, and I think for the first one, I'm gonna need some help. Who wants to enlist? Shannon?
Yeah, sure. Let me bring it up here. So enlist is a new mechanic. It works something like this. As this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. When you do, add its power to this creature's until end of turn.
So there is a card in the set. Argivian Cavalry, I think, is the best suited for this. It's 2 and a white, I believe, for a 2/2 knight. ETBs and creates a 1/1 white soldier, and it has enlist.
Mm-hmm.
So on the turn that both of them are able to attack, instead of both of them attacking, just one swings, you would tap the soldier token, and then the soldier's 1 power would get added to the knight's 2 power. So now the knight is 3 power. But then this way, you risk less creatures.
It's banding again, but different.
This is what the warriors and samurai sub-theme needed in Kamigawa, with all of them. Oh, when a warrior or samurai you control attacks alone, do this. They needed enlist to make it worth it. So that could be like
legal Bushido.
No. Well, so effectively the idea for a samurai is you'd want to fight your opponent one-on-one.
Yeah.
So the idea of charging in alone is the thing. So like effects like Mentor, I feel like should have been in the set. Battle Cry should have been in the set for the Kamigawa. But Enlist would have been a perfect thing to really say this. So like I could go like, I swing with this 5-power samurai, and the 3-power samurai is just gonna mentor him effectively. And then that would add the power. I like Enlist. Should be interesting to see.
Cool.
I don't think it's I don't think it's super powerful.
It's banding, but like modern sensibilities, and I like.
But it actually makes sense.
Yeah, banding makes sense.
Banding makes sense.
What are you talking about? Just like you attack 2 creatures, they become a band, and then all of a sudden they have the power toughness of 1 creature. So then it's not that complex, really.
Yeah, it really isn't.
No.
No.
So, before we get too forward,
mind if I just help you out? I'd read ahead. The next mechanic's read ahead. So, read ahead is another new mechanic from Dominaria United. It's going to be on 10 Saga cards here, as it is a Saga exclusive mechanic. And the way it differs from normal sagas is where, a normal saga would enter the battlefield, it would count 1, 2, 3, however many for its saga counters. Read Ahead says when it enters the battlefield, you choose which chapter it enters on, and then it enters on that chapter. For example, if you have the phasing of Zhalfir on board, you can pay 4 and a blue, say it enters on chapter 3. Instead of doing its 1 and 2, it just says destroy all creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates a 2/2 Phyrexian creature token. And I like it as a player from it's a good mechanic. It's a good mechanic. As a lore nerd, I kind of go, ugh. What does everyone else think about Read Ahead personally?
It's one of those things of when you play a saga, you expect it a lot like a planeswalker. You expect it to build to this super big thing. Imagine if a planeswalker just came down, you got one use out of it, but you could automatically activate its ult.
Doubling season.
Hey, don't you take
I'm just saying that Read Ahead is just doubling season for the first sagas, except
not necessarily.
It's one of those things where
what if you could give us? What if there was a commander that could give Read Ahead to sagas?
I could imagine a storyteller commander would actually be kind of cool.
I have Kefkin's new mechanic.
Anyway. It's interesting. I could definitely see why people would be interested in it.
Yeah, because
I don't think there's much to say about it, honestly.
So because some of the sagas are here's a board wipe. How often are you going to be all right, 1, 2, then I need the board wipe? No, sometimes you just need the board wipe now.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. I was thinking, I think in the same mindset. I myself, I'm a bookworm. I love to read books, in that regard. So I like it going in order. I don't like to skip ahead or anything like that. But in this sense of case, with the Read Ahead, like you just said, with the board wipes, if you need a board wipe and you have that option, I'm telling you right now, if I had that option, I'd be doing a Read Ahead ability. No,
especially because think about how many tokens of birds that blue makes, and now you just go BT dubs. And there's a couple cards in this set that make a lot of birds. And now you go, by the way, 5 mana, destroy all your 4/4 and 5/5 creatures. I'm going to destroy all of my 1/1s, but now we replace everything with 2/2s. We're back on level playing field. Cool. Is your tempo slowed down a lot? Perfect. That's exactly what I need to hear.
Yes, Zhalfir has finally phased, and Phyrexians are here for some reason in the void, or in the pit that was Zhalfir.
Yep.
Shannon, what about you? How do you feel about Read Ahead?
I don't know. I like it. I think each different saga can be situational for what you want to do.
Yeah.
But now they're getting more modular on that situationality, which again,
it does give you flexibility.
Yeah. And who doesn't love flexibility in Commander?
Or any format for that fact.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take things back to basic as we talk about the 2 returning mechanics. And speaking of basics, Ryan, explain Domain.
Yeah. So Domain, as Bill mentioned, is a return mechanic. Simply put, Domain is you play the spell depending on the number of basic lands you have. Each different type of basic land, I should say. So it does. If you have 2 mountains, it doesn't reduce it by 2. It only reduces by 1. It cares about each individual. So if you have all 5 basic lands out, spell's going to cost 5 less. Good example here is Leyline Binding. It is 5 and a white with enchantment that has flash, but it has Domain. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each basic land type among lands you control. And then when ETBs, exile target on land permanent until it leaves the battlefield. So you could hard cast this for 6, but almost always, if you're playing Commander or even Standard, any format, honestly, you should not be hard casting this unless you had just the worst luck with basic lands in your deck.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but at worst, you're probably I think with Leyline Binding specifically, at worst you're gonna cast this maybe 4 mana if you're playing it in a dual color deck.
So it should be noted well that it cares about basic land types. So this is going to be in the same standard rotation as the current triomes. So one triome could discount that by 3 mana.
You're right. And you could run that in a monocolored deck if you wanted to.
How would it though? Because triomes are not considered basic lands.
It says basic land types. island, mountain,
plains.
swamp,
Oh, I
waste,
see. Okay.
plains,
Okay.
and forest are basic land types. So
Fair.
So if you play Zayator's Proving Grounds, which is a swamp, mountain, forest, that single land discounts that spell by 3.
Right. Yeah, no,
not
you're
bad.
and then you also now you got to figure you also have the new common lands that are come in tap, but they
are huge for these things. Yeah, the new common tap
They're
ones
fetchable.
are not only are they fetchable, but since they have the types, Domain's absolutely gonna love these. I actually expect during like say pre-release or even in the current standard rotation when the set drops, we could see 5-color decks and they could actually work.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be a possibility, especially with pre-release coming up this Friday for a lot of locations.
Yep. We're filming this on August 30th, where pre-release will be September 2nd, and the set drops September 9th. Yep. And then we'll finish this off with the mechanic that is every mechanic, Kicker.
Yes, Kicker is every mechanic.
Yep, Kicker. Quick, it's Kicker is effectively an additional cost you can pay when you cast the spell. It should be noted that there are kickers on both non-permanent and permanent spells, and it should be very much noted that you cannot kick something after it's been like. So if you say play Banalish Sleeper, which has a kicker cost of a black, you cannot kick it after it's already come into play. Like say like your next turn, you can't pay a black and kick it. It's it's really well represented on Temporal Firestorm, which is 3 red for a sorcery with kicker, 1 in a white and or 1 in a blue. In this case, so you can only ever pay kicker once. In this case, because it says and or, you can pay it twice. And it says choose up to X target creatures and or planeswalkers you control, where X is the number of times that the spell was kicked, maximum 2. Those permanents phase out. Temporal Firestorm deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Which, by the way, not a bad spell, but the idea that it's... I mean, the problem with a spell like this is it's 5 mana, so I mean, it incrementally climbs to do its best thing.
I think that's.
But I mean, 5 damage is probably going to clear the board. Let's be realistic.
I think that's a really clean like stealth update to Kicker that they did, where they added the and or. Because before Kicker was like, hey, pay this and do this. Multi-kicker was a thing, but this clearly is just Kicker. But this is Kicker and or. Without it being a new mechanic, it's really readable, really clean, very approachable from a new player's perspective. And that's all Kicker needs to be.
I think that that's a really good thing to do. So, without any further ado, let's get into our top 5 lists. And let's start with our honorable mentions. And normally we start with Ryan, but today we're going to start with Shannon.
Ooh. Twist.
Okay. Twist.
What's your honorable mention?
So my honorable mention is the cruelty of Gix.
The saga.
Oh, one of the new sagas.
Yeah.
The cruelty of Gix.
Yes. So
Gix is my man, though.
Right.
He did.
So saga number 1 is target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a creature or a planeswalker card from it. That player discards that card. Saga number 2 is search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand, then shuffle. You lose 3 life. Saga 3, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control.
Hey, remember when M21 had Grim Tutor?
Yeah.
Here's 5 mana Grim Tutor.
It's back.
Yep.
No, that was like a solid card.
So and another big thing to mention for this one is that does not say from your graveyard. That says from a graveyard.
Yep, a graveyard.
Which is a
Tutor
thing
up
they love
a kill
slapping
spell.
on cards these days.
Oh yeah, go to untap, upkeep, play this kill spell to kill that creature, then draw step, get the 3rd counter, take the creature you just killed.
Yep.
All about tempo.
Can we all just say?
Oh, is that a blight steal in the graveyard? Oh, it's mine now.
Well, that'll shuffle itself. So
I know.
Is that a
crater hoof? That's mine now.
Now that I've removed your crater hoof from the battlefield, I'll be taking that.
Oh, remember all those things you were sacrificing to your braids earlier? That's a shame.
Nope, sorry, it's mine. I love Mono Black's sub theme these days of being like, hey, your graveyards belong to me, your discards belong to me. There are so many cards these days that are like, nom 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 nom.
Yeah, it's like your graveyard. No, our
Our
graveyard.
Our graveyard.
It is a staple of the mono black lifestyle. I mean, look at like Lorcon or
Scruffy's Magic Collection? My Magic
Our
Collection.
Magic Collection.
Our Magic
No,
Collection.
go.
Can I just say, like, last thing, the Cruelty of Gix has probably some of my favorite Saga artwork, or like any of the Phyrexian
yeah,
it's
sagas have some
really-
of the best
Um,
artwork in the game.
It really kind of goes back in time
Oh my God,
of like
It was Vulcan Baga.
yeah, it kind of like like it's very inspired by like the old like biblical sagas that you would find in
The
like
Renaissance
Gothic
paintings.
church, yeah, like Gothic churches
there you go.
and
That's very much
and
that.
stuff like that. But without gold, like there needs to be like a smidge gold.
They've switched it up and added
I
Phyrexian
Added
steel.
black, yeah.
I actually
Mhm.
just realized that due to chapter 1 on this, if you are patient enough and the person is not playing graveyard recursion, that you get the creature out of their hand that you want.
Yep.
That's
And tutor for a
hilarious.
card. It's
Yeah.
so rude. It's
is.
so
So
rude.
Yep.
incredibly rude.
So with that, let's mix things up and let's go with Jasper.
Yes. Chaotic. I love it. And speaking of which, my pick is Chaotic Transformation. For 5 and red, it's Chaos Warp 4 things. Literally. I'll read it.
Yeah.
It's exile up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, up to 1 target enchantment, and up to 1 target planeswalker, and or up to 1 target land. For each permanent exiled this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a card that shares a card type with it. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffles. So yes,
so it
is
should be
type-specific.
noted. This isn't. Yeah, this should be noted that it's not exactly Chaos Warp, because Chaos Warp, for anybody who doesn't know, it's 2 in a red. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card. If it's a permanent, put it onto the battlefield. This
well and
is
good.
effectively the same thing, but this is exile. Like that stuff's not coming back. It doesn't go back into the
It's-
graveyard. It's the I've hit your Blightsteel, I've hit your indestructible creature. I've also hit that Gaia's Cradle. I've also hit this. Now go ahead and get 4 permanents. I don't care. I've dealt with the things that are literally stopping me from playing the game.
Go ahead and get 4 permanents, and we all hope and pray that you don't get 5 worse permanents.
It's so red it hurts.
I love
Oh
it.
yeah.
I love
It's
it.
so
It's
red
my
it
boy.
hurts.
I will be running this card almost never, but if I ever do, it'll be very fun. I'm coming for you.
We're gonna mix things up. I'm gonna go next.
You son of a bitch. He keeps mixing it up on us.
My honorable mention actually comes from the Jumpstart boosters, and it is Ragefire Hellkite. Ragefire Hellkite is 4 red for a 5/3 creature dragon with flying. Whenever Ragefire Hellkite attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, Ragefire Hellkite gains double strike until end of turn. This is a big, fat dragon, and I love it. I want to take it home, and I want to snuggle with it.
Yeah.
I think about how many creatures in red that are tokens that just show up for a turn that may not be able to get through. Sacrifice it to the Ragefire Hellkite. Now it has double strike.
Yeah.
10 damage in the air is enormous. Like, it's huge.
I mean,
Like,
you already know how 10 damage in the air already feels for me.
Yeah, there's the new legend, Lagmos, the hand of something. He's a red-black creature. At the beginning of combat, he makes a 2/1 red and black elemental or something along those lines. And you can tap a tutor a card as long as 5 creatures died this turn. And I'm like, you mean to tell me you make free fodder for me to give this dragon double strike?
And you like when things are sacrificed?
Yeah. Beautiful, delicious. I love it.
Tasty.
Ryan, as the resident dragon player,
Yo.
what do you think?
Oh, if you don't believe like for a millisecond that I'm not gonna pick this card up, you got nothing coming.
I'm building a Fur Crag deck. He's absolutely going in there. I'm going to chump this smaller dragon for this bigger dragon. Anyway. So, yeah, that's my honorable mention. So, Rye, honorable mention.
Something on mine's actually the most tame out of all yours. So my honorable mention is Plaza of Heroes. This land is disgusting.
It's
Like
absurd.
this land is really good.
The fact that it's
Like-
in the main set bothers me.
Hey,
Yep.
yo, I heard you
Actually-
liked Command Tower.
This is Command Tower on freaking steroids.
It's absurd.
Oh, is
So-
that the land that cares about legendary creatures?
Yes.
Yes!
So Plaza of Hero has 4 abilities on it. It has tap, add a colorless, or it has tap, add one mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a legendary spell, or tap, add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control, or 3 in tap, you exile Plaza of Heroes. Target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible to end a turn.
It does.
So-
It does everything that you wanted to do for
Yeah.
a legendary creature. It's absurd.
This card's already being priced at like $10. Buy it now.
It's
I'm
absurd.
hoping I pull it in my collector's box.
Because, like, I want you to consider for a second that, like, Joda's 5 colors in the set, and not just by identity. He has 5 colors
He
on
is
his card.
legit
He's white,
5.
black. He's Wooburg. This taps and casts him. Or if you're like, oh no, I just need the mana to cast a normal spell. Now that you have Joda out, this thing taps for any color. Like,
Yeah, it's
ah!
this land is good.
This
It's a
land
very
is
good land. And also the fact that later on in the game you can just hold it up to keep your creature hex proof and indestructible is absurd.
Yeah, it's
you're
absurd.
gonna
I fucking hate it.
target my Ur Dragon? Yeah, 3 mana tap. No, F off.
You spent all this mana with Plaza of Heroes to get your for Wooburg commander out. Keep it out.
Let's just say this. Let's be happy that it says exile and not sacrifice.
Oh
could
yeah.
you
Oh
imagine-
God.
Could you imagine what, say, Lord Windgrace could do with this?
Crucible
Granted, he's
not a
of
legendary creature.
Worlds.
Get Rog.
Yet.
I could see it's like with Get Rog and everything. Like,
Oh yeah, but it does exile for that last effect.
yes,
So,
it does say exile.
Thank God.
Wizards thought better of themselves.
Yeah,
You can always play the Eldrazi that bounce things that are in exile back to your graveyard,
Stop that.
technically speaking. But
Good.
You
that's-
wouldn't
I feel
run
like that's
this in
going out of the
Eldrazi
way.
Deck. You actually it's actually a non-bow in Eldrazi decks.
No, it's not. Okay.
devoid ones, no.
I mean, yeah, but like there are no devoid Eldrazi commanders
There are
that-
yet.
yet.
Oh, no.
We're getting through the Phyrexian arc. We got to have another big bad somewhere.
Let's not. Oh,
Let's not
God.
connect to Eldrazi yet. I don't
Oh,
want to deal with them
boy.
just right now.
Oh, God.
Regardless,
the Phyrexians
was
are taking everything I
Ryan's-
hold dear right now.
that was Ryan's honorable mention. Jasper, what is your number 5?
Okay, so we're just going right into it. Number 5. My number 5 is Golden Argosy. It's the legendary vehicle
Okay.
from the set. Legendary artifact is for 4 mana is a golden Argosy is a legendary artifact vehicle with whenever Golden Argosy attacks, exile each creature that crewed it up this turn. Return them to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control at the beginning of the next step. It is crew 1, and it's a 3/6 toughness. So the reason I picked this card as number 5 is because when I was reading it, I was like, oh, you're going to crew 1 creature. But then I reread the rules for crew, and I was like, you can crew with as many creatures as you want. If you're running a Flicker deck, or any deck that likes ETBs, you can just have your entire board crew Golden Argosy, get all those triggers, and swing with a 3/6 on the ground as a bonus.
Mono white decks like this. There's a lot of mono white creatures that come in and ramp.
What's that one exile commander from Kaldheim?
That would be Renar.
Yeah, Runar likes this a whole lot.
Renar the Everwatchful. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, granted, he only gets 1 spirit out of it because it's 1 or more.
Fair
True.
enough.
Wording is.
But you're
But
going to be
he's-
running
This
other...
is definitely better. This is definitely better for an ETB deck. Honestly, the way to go about this is for again, you're not getting kicker effects, but yeah, any ETB effects you have on your creatures
ETB
is
heavy.
pretty huge. Honestly, I think about this with things like Warp Storm Surge or
Ooh,
War
yeah,
War Storm Surge or
the other Warp Storm Surge.
Like Impact Tremors or something.
Impact
Impact
Tremors. Thank you.
Tremors.
Yes. I'm thinking with things like that. Like it doesn't just have to be the creatures themselves of ETBs. Like go ahead and flicker the things that like. Could you imagine Siege Gang Commando? I'm gonna
Oh,
sack all
God.
3 goblins to him, crew it,
Mhm.
flicker him, make 3 more goblins. Like ugh.
Yep.
It's good
Ugh.
stuff. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Shannon, number 5.
Sure. So my number 5 is Runic Shot. It's 1 white, but the kicker cost is blue, and it says Destroy target tap creature. If the spell was kicked, scry 2.
So
solid card, solid beater.
Yeah.
The flavor
Yeah,
text
I
is
mean-
target acquired.
Yeah, I mean, hence the artwork, like, literally. It's like a bow and arrow, and
The guy's
Just
like,
ready-
yes, let me
ready to
scry it
shoot.
for you.
the
Yeah.
crossbow's there, and the mage behind him's just like, oh, please make this count. I don't
Yeah,
know if I can do
right.
this twice.
It's another one of those
yeah.
cards that's like, yo, you're attacking?
It's
No,
just
you
good.
ain't.
Like,
It's the fucking flavor text. Target acquired.
Target
yep,
acquired.
literally.
All right, Ryan, number 5.
Okay, so my number 5 hits kind of hard. Gonna say it now. To anyone who's watching this, if you've not read the story or have been under a rock, still gonna say it. Spoiler warning.
5, 4, 3, 2. Now it's your fault. Go ahead.
A Johnny Sleeper Agent is my number 5.
They got him, boys.
Okay. I was about to say all in one chorus now. My boy.
My boy.
My boy.
It pains me to put him here. Not because he's bad or good. He was one of my favorites, and they took him from me.
He can still be one of your favorites. He's just different now.
He's just different. Yeah.
In a bad
Yeah,
way.
he's just filled with metal and wires and oil.
So, but joking aside, a Johnny Sleeper Agent is 1 green, Phyrexian green or white, and a white.
Phyrexian
So he has-
Selesnya.
hybrid Phyrexian Selesnya.
Mm-hmm. So he has the ability completed, which is the hybrid Selesnya Phyrexian symbol. It can be either paid with green or white, or 2 life. If you pay the 2 life, he enters with 2 fewer loyalty counters, just like Tamio, as we saw in that regard. He starts with 4 counters to begin with, if you pay the normal mana flat out without the life. But his +1 is reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it onto the bottom of your library. His -3 is distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among up to 3 target creatures. They gain vigilance on the turn. And his bomb ability, which a lot of people are going to probably be trying to remove him on sight, -6. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a creature spell or planeswalker spell, target opponent gets 2 poison counters.
This
Mm.
is he ults. It's 5 spells. Somebody dies,
Yeah. Or
which is absolutely absurd.
yep. Or Atraxa freaking just comes in and says, "Hello, proliferate."
Hello?
Yeah. Also, Johnny breaks the record for the most amount of artworks in a single set.
How many does he
Yeah.
have in this set?
5.
No, artworks, yes. Card type. Actually, I think Teferi, Master of Time, beats him still.
Possibly. So
Maybe.
he has his normal border, his Phyrexian border, his Phyrexian border with Phyrexian language, a not completed borderless, and then a completed borderless.
Oh, yeah, just checked it. Teferi, Master of Time, beats him. He's got his
Really?
normal artwork, his promo artwork, his M21 artwork, his date stamped, and then he's got 4 different versions of his background phasing through different time portals. Literally,
Alright.
like,
All right then.
Okay, he's the
Wow.
first non-blue planeswalker to have this many artworks.
yes,
Yeah.
there's your signifier.
That's fair.
So,
Because Teferi had a
yeah,
fuck ton.
I mean, his +1 fetches you creature or planeswalker cards.
Mhm.
His -3 pumps up your creatures. The sad part is he still feels very a Johnny, even though he's a Phyrexian.
Yeah, same thing with
Yep.
Tamio.
I think that's
She
what really
felt
hurts.
Very Tamio.
Mhm.
It's still him in there. I mean, his -3 is still, hey, I believe in you, kid. Get up.
I am
Like-
I am legitimately holding out hope that they find a way to cure the completed planeswalkers.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want that. Because then it means that all of the repercussions and all the feelings we've been having are literally for naught.
It also means that they can complete whoever they want. And it doesn't matter.
Now, yeah, and now on top of that, it would be, oh, I could be completed to become a Phyrexian and become stronger, and then hope my friends just defeat them, and then this way I'm just stronger.
Mm.
Which feels very
or would you
Tybalt,
rather
by the
have
way.
would you rather have Teferi go back in time and say, "Yeah, no, Johnny, you're not. No. He changed the. He
No,
changed
I don't want
the-
them to solve it at all.
I would like these characters
stick with
to
the
be
character. Stick with the decision. He has become a Phyrexian. The only way to stop him is to kill him.
Listen, they introduced like 7 planeswalkers during War of the Spark. We have more in
Because here's the thing. If they do find a way to complete him, I want it after Elspeth kills him because I want that to haunt her, to give her actual character development. I don't want Elspeth sitting in a fight with a Johnny for 3 fucking days because they're trying to work on making him normal again. It's lame writing. I'm sorry.
Hasn't Elspeth suffered enough? She literally died, went to hell, fought her way out of hell, suffered from Ashiok.
No.
Cool. You know what her grand rising moment is? I had to kill my friend, Elish. Now I'm killing you.
Oh, she was already planning. She was already resolved to kill Elish Norn to begin with.
Like, yeah, exactly. But now that she might have to kill a Johnny, I just think giving a cure means there's no repercussions to anything the Phyrexians are doing, besides the people that die and don't get completed. And that feels like such a lame villain.
Yeah, no,
we are the Phyrexians. We're gonna control the multiverse. But if you kill us, everything we've done gets reversed.
I mean, the first time the Phyrexians were defeated and dead forever, they showed up on Argentum, Mirrodin, and turned it into New Phyrexia. So maybe I think we're gonna have lasting repercussions for the Phyrexians.
I do not want. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If you go ahead and Johnny and Tamio don't get killed, and you want to give them anti-hero complexes where now they flop in between having control of themselves and not, that I'd be okay with. If you're like, oh, hey, shit, there's a Johnny, don't get near him. Why? We don't know if it's actually a Johnny in there.
What?
That's where you go, a Johnny's leading an army, and then, oh no, a Johnny's slaughtering his own soldiers.
Question.
Like, that's like, okay, I'm down with that.
Would your position on this change if they end up completing Sorin?
I still wouldn't want him. I still wouldn't want him to change back. I really wouldn't. I took a hard 3 seconds to think about that there.
Yo, no lie though. No lie. If they complete Sorin, the Gatewatchers
they complete Sorin, they're screwed.
They're
Yep.
done.
Oh my god, there's so many people who are going to die, and it's just from him going blood.
But it's like Black Blood this time because he's Phyrexian now. Ooh.
Regardless, all right. We
kind of
said
we spent way more than enough time on this card. So that was Ryan.
That was your number 5.
Is it mine?
It's number.
We had Runic Shot.
Yep.
Runic Shot.
Jasper, what was your number 5?
Golden Argosy.
Yeah. Okay, we talked about it, so it's mine.
Yes, yours now.
Yes.
For the first time ever, a common has made my list. Shout out to all the Pauper players. My number 5 is Shore Up. Shore up. It is a singular blue mana for an instant, and its target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains Hexproof until end of turn. Untap it.
Good stuff.
That is 1 blue mana and does all of that.
Good soup.
It's so nice. Hey, I'm gonna kill your thing. Or I'm swinging at you full out. You're gonna die. Nah. Untap. I'm able to block your strongest creature, and you can't kill my thing because now it has hexproof.
Good stuff. I love it. Show
Yeah.
up.
I like combat tricks. This speaks to me as a player.
Homerid shells are adapted to the crushing pressure of the deepest depths. On land, their sturdiness seems supernatural.
I imagine this on like Jin Gataxias, who copies it.
Stop it.
And you just give 2 of your creatures hexproof, untap them, and give them +1/+1.
Stop that.
Protection at its finest. Then we'll go with our number 4s, and let's start with Jasper this time.
My number 4 is Sun Titan, Sarah Paragon. For 2 white, she is a creature angel flying. Once on each of your turns, you may play a land card from your graveyard or cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. If you do, it gains when this permanent is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, exile, and you gain 2 life. So
I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler warning. That is my number 1.
Really?
That card is fucking absurd.
Even
It
when
does
they
not
are
need to
removed?
enter. It does not need to enter the battlefield. It does not need to attack. It is a 3/4 flyer for 4 mana. It does so much for what it does. On the turn it comes out, it fetches you a card from your graveyard. Whether it be one, like realistically, what you do is to get the real value out of the card, you don't play it on 4. You play it on like 6 or 7, and you then get the 3 mana permanent from your graveyard, unless you have an Evolving Wilds or something in your bin already there. Did you crack an Obscura storefront early on in the game? Cool. Go ahead and play your Sarah's Paragon. Get your Obscura storefront. Gain life. We know White loves that. Also get yourself some extra lands. It does so much without the repercussions of what Sun Titan has to do, which is enter the battlefield
And
or attack. You don't need to do anything after you cast her. She just does her stuff. She is absurd. Like in standard, Restoration Angel was running around, and Restoration Angel was a 5 mana 3/4. She's 4 mana at 3/4, which means her stats are not even that ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about this card. I'm so happy a white card made my number 1. Thank God.
It really makes you think. Sarah Angel from Alpha was a 4 mana angel with flying and vigilance.
No, she was 6.
She was 6 mana.
She was 4 white for a 4/4 with flying and vigilance.
Right, Jesus. Man, power creep in Magic the Gathering really has come a long way.
Yeah. She is absurd to multiple levels.
Oh yeah, and even when the card leaves the battlefield, it's like, hey, 2 life.
Oh, and it gets exiled. Sure, that's unfortunate.
But you
now
get to use
say,
Evolving
like-
Wilds twice.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna play this. Oh man, did you destroy my Plaza of Heroes? Lol.
And if you're playing this in a Flicker deck, it's once per turn for instance of Sarah Paragon. So you could just flicker her, play a land, flicker her, play a land.
Or here's an idea. When you're in Standard or Pioneer, play 4 of them.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, you.
She's-
do that.
She is so something to compare you to. Let's look at another card that broke the format. Luris.
Oh God, yeah,
She
you're
is
right.
Luris
Yeah,
with none of the companion implications.
yeah. Loris is. Oh God.
The
And
downside
he
is you
was
have
a
to draw
3/2
this
with
card.
lifelink that let you play a permanent card with mana value 2 or less.
Yep.
She does 3 or less, so she's 1 higher. 4 mana cost, is a flyer, and is a 3/4.
The only
Wah.
downside she has over Luris, or the thing Luris has over her, is that you have to draw her. Which isn't that big of a downside if you're running 4 of them.
Or if you're in a creature deck and you tutor.
Yeah, that too. Or you're running like
I
Angel Tribal
think-
for some reason. Good lord.
I think she's absolutely absurd.
That's why she's the paragon
God.
of Sarah.
God.
Oh no, she's
Alrighty.
nasty.
That's why
Who wants to go
she's-
next for number 4?
Yeah. Ryan, Chad?
Actually, or
I'll go.
Shannon or Ryan, did you either of you had a comment on this card?
No, you
No.
basically hit the nail on the head. She is disgusting. Like
I'm sorry, I
there's
was
no-
very passionate about it.
School
No, that's fine.
stinker.
I'll go.
Okay.
Because I stand by what I say, what I'm about to say about this card. Again, to anyone who's listening, if you have not been reading the story or anything, like you spoiler,
How many spoilers do you have on your
5,
list?
4, 3, 2. Now it's your fault.
last one.
Really?
I
my
assume
number
that this
yeah.
is.
My number 4 is Ertai Resurrected.
Oh, not the card I thought it was. I thought it was Bury the Light.
Oh no.
Bury the light. It's the song. The card's not Bury the Light.
It's Extinguish the Light.
So Ertai Resurrected, 2 mana and a blue and a black, so 4 mana altogether. Legendary creature, Phyrexian human wizard with flash, and when he ETBs, you choose up to one option from him. You either counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. Its controller draws a card, or you destroy another target creature or planeswalker. Its controller draws a card. This card is disgusting.
incredibly versatile. The fact that he counters activating trigger abilities is just so rude.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
It's
think
just so rude. Could you imagine playing a game where he's the commander of the opposing deck and you just sit there and go, I have my win con in hand. I can't play my win con. I literally can't. I don't get anything out of it.
Yeah,
the commander
literally,
shows up and goes, ha, ha, ha,
no. You have it. You gotta draw another
This
card.
is why
That's all you
turn
get.
creatures sideways.
He destroys creatures too.
He does destroy
well,
creatures.
He does both.
He destroys creatures or planeswalkers.
Oh, okay. I feel like I'm probably the resident blue-black player at the table at this
Sure.
table because
I'm
I play
resident blue
Esper.
player.
You're blue, but I'm blue-black.
Oh, agreed, 100%.
Hey, Resident
So
Cryptus player here.
let's get ridiculous with you here, okay? Let's get ridiculous with you. Let's say you want to play him Blink. And you're like, but I don't want to keep giving my opponents cards.
Who cares?
Narset.
Yeah, Narset will. Yeah, Narset has
Narset.
to
Now, if
over.
I countered the spell on your turn, you get nothing.
Yep.
I destroy a creature on your turn, you get nothing.
Ooh.
Or how about this? No, I'll let you draw the card. I'm going to flash in Notion Thief, though. Now I draw the card. I've countered your spell, and I've drawn the card you were supposed to get.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Urtai is going
And
to.
then you play things like Conjurer's Closet and flicker effects, and you laugh hysterically at your opponents as you just go, I'm going to destroy everybody's boards. Have a nice day.
Yeah. No. Urtai is going
Like-
to be a nuisance in for like all kinds of formats. It is the versatility of him is disgusting.
He's not
A commander.
reality warping, which is nice. What?
I don't think he's a commander.
I think he is.
Oh no, he's absolutely a commander.
I think he is.
Listen.
So here's the thing. When your
Listen.
opponents know that you have a counter spell, it's actually better than them not knowing you have a counter spell because they have to make that conscious choice as to whether or not they want that spell that they're about to play countered.
I don't know. I think he's like a really good card in
For example,
standard to flash in.
I'll throw this out to you. You are playing Mizzix of the Is Magnus. You have Mizzix Mastery in hand. I have Urtai in the command zone and the mana to play him. Are you going to play Mizzix Mastery?
Not by itself. But no, I'm not.
Exactly. Knowing a person has a counter spell and kill spell makes you so even if you do are like, haha, Prowling Serpapard. Cool. It lands on your next creature spell. Tap for 4. I'm going to flash an Urtai and destroy the Prowling Serpapard. And now I'll pay the extra mana and counter your spell.
I get it. Like Urtai's
Oh,
nasty,
he's
but
just
not
a
that-
mean commander. And again, like I said,
don't
he's
think
not
he
reality
wins
warping.
games. Is what I'm saying. It's like because
No,
like,
but he-
I-
No.
I've
He doesn't
played
win games.
I've played Baral, the counter king.
Yeah.
Like counter decks are like sure they're fun to be like that asshole, but you're not winning any games.
No.
He's not a
Like-
good commander. He's a mean commander.
Oh yeah,
Let's
no,
just
he's
play
just,
like blue-black stacks. Everybody, that'll be enjoyable.
That's probably how
I
people are going
imagine
to build
him
him.
for things. So funny enough, I imagine him for decks like for me, for any deck he's going to slot in, it would be one of two. It would be either Legendary Party because I believe he's a wizard.
He is.
Legendary Party because he's a wizard, or honestly, Kamiz.
I would put him in a Trada as
Yeah.
like another like a counter target ability. Like
Honestly,
just because I can
I would-
bounce him all the time.
I would slot him in Runo.
Yeah, like he
Shannon?
goes index.
Shannon looked like she wanted to say something.
Oh, I just wanted.
Say
couldn't-
again?
You
I
cut out a
believe
little
you.
bit there.
I just wanted to say my 4 because we haven't got.
Oh no.
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Urtai
So
makes
actually,
sense.
yeah, we're good. Shannon, go ahead. What is your number 4?
Well, to tone things down a little bit, it's a common.
Ooh, what's wrong with
Comments
you
can be
two?
spicy.
2 comments
And
are.
it's Bog Badger.
This it's
3 to
interesting.
2,
I haven't read
and
this
then,
card.
and then a kicker with black. When Bog Badger ETBs, if it was kicked, creatures you control gain menace until end of turn.
That Badger has a
Oh,
stand.
gotcha, okay.
Literally.
It really does.
So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
a 4-mana 3/3 that gives all your creatures menace is
Pretty good.
pretty good.
Spicy.
4 mana, everything gains menace. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respectable.
No,
Wow.
that could
Especially
that
if you're in
can-
like a Jund deck, like with a lot of
yeah.
like what the Riveteers were doing, and you can give
Mhm.
this thing haste, so it can make use of the menace it gives itself. Because it doesn't say other creatures you control; it says creatures, which means it would
Yeah.
give itself
Yeah.
menace too.
I think
yeah.
that's a solid pick. Like that,
I'm down for it.
Late game that can honestly be a game ender.
Yeah.
And also,
I
it's a
mean, in all
3-mana 3/3.
formats, Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. Solid pick, honestly.
No,
No
yeah,
arguments
absolutely.
there.
Good comments. Good comments. Good
Right.
comments.
Am I the last one to go for number 4?
Yes.
Are you?
What's your number 4?
Jasper, what was your number 4?
Sarah Paragon.
I am the last one to go.
Oh, you are.
My number 4 is an uncommon. This is another first for me. An uncommon has made my list. And mine's is Balduvian Atrocity. It's 2 and a black for a 2/3 creature Phyrexian Berserker. It's got a kicker of a single red with Menace. Keep it on theme. And when Balduvian Atrocity enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step.
Ooh.
I don't even know what I'm looking at with this artwork. It's a torso, but like the torso's got a bunch of like, is that a spine?
Well,
top?
Balduvian was the place of bears.
But this is clearly a man, or was a man.
Well, it just says Phyrexian Berserker.
Yikes. I'm gonna
It
stop
doesn't
looking
say
at that card
it doesn't
now.
say Phyrexian human because Phyrexian humans have been specified in this set.
Apparently,
I don't think it's a bear. I think it was a person at
not a
some
bear.
point.
It
and
is a person.
It's just a combination of the metals going on.
Yeah,
but
it is
I
not a
want
bear.
to take in consideration. This is a 2/3 with Menace 4/3. On turn 4, it brings back a 3-mana creature from your graveyard. Say the Bog Badger.
Yeah.
Gives it haste. Lets it does its thing. Now you can't kick it. But like there are plenty
Well, I mean, you can
of
kick it, but
three...
not in the rules text.
Well, yeah, you can't. But there's a lot of 3-mana creatures that have value to them that bringing them back with haste is hilarious.
Oh, I 100% agree.
I imagine that in like Commander, this isn't going to see a ton of play, but in like Limited and Constructed, this could be hilarious.
Oh yeah,
There's
100%.
a lot of Phoenixes that are 3-mana, which I think there's a black, red, and blue red Phoenixes deck in like Pioneer
I feel like in pre-release this card will definitely pull some weight if you get it.
Oh yeah, in pre-release for sure. There are a lot of 3-mana cards in the set. Like
Brains.
That was our number 4s.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and talk about something a little different. Let's talk about our favorite legends from the set. And you know what? Let's start with Shannon.
Favorite legend.
Now, this could be any kind of legend. There's a shit ton of legendary creatures in this set. There's one legendary permanent that is not a creature. That was a Johnny. But Shannon, go ahead.
Well, hold on. Let me bring it up on freaking Scryfall so we can read it. So my favorite legend of the set is one of the retold legends, Jasmine Boreal of the Seven, for 1 green, 1 white, and 1 colorless, and you can tap her, add green, white, spend this mana only to cast creature spells with no abilities. Creatures you control with no abilities can't be blocked by creatures with abilities.
She is the queen of bears.
Yeah.
So we got a very recent Commander set with Strixhaven that had Ruxa, Patient Professor, who cared about the vanilla creatures, but she is the undeniable vanilla creature commander. First off, she opens it up to white, not just green.
Yeah.
Ruxa runs in that deck because he does care about them. So like, just because you care about vanilla creatures doesn't mean you can't play creatures that don't have effects.
Yeah.
She's just, like for vanilla creatures specifically, like a vanilla deck, she's just good.
Bear Force 1 has a new pilot, everybody.
Bear Force 1 commander is 100%
Ayula's still a better commander for bears, specifically bears.
Yeah.
But like I'm talking about like
But
the
like
bear
you could also
archetype.
do like a token synergy with her. That
Oh yeah. You just gotta make sure the tokens just don't get spawned. Right.
And then you can like does a +1/+1 counter count as an ability or no?
No.
No, so you can buff your
Yes.
So you could just play a bunch of tokens with no abilities and then buff your squad. And then swing.
No, I get it. We
That's
all
what
get
I
it.
like.
Yep.
You can definitely tell everyone's playstyle like by the creatures they pick.
Oh yeah.
Yes, going on that trend, I'd like to go next.
Go
Go
for it.
ahead.
Yeah.
My favorite legend is Jaya, Fiery Negotiator. What's my playstyle, everybody? Do I like casting
Burn.
spells? Burn? You know it! Anyway, Jaya is a 2-red legendary planeswalker, Jaya, who would have guessed it. Her +1 is create a 1/1 red monk creature token with prowess. Her -1 is exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. Her -2 is choose target creature an opponent controls. Whenever you attack this turn, Jaya Fire Negotiator deals damage equal to the number of attacking creatures to that creature. And -8 is you get an emblem with whenever you cast a red instant or sorcery spell, copy it twice. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Yeah, I mean, shocker. Her ultimate is I win the game.
Pretty much. I will
I heard
say,
you liked Jessica's will. What if I copied it 8 times?
I will say this. Jaya is definitely up on the list of like one of my favorite planeswalkers. Especially love some of the flavor text on some of the cards they have in here for her.
Spoiler coming in 4, 3, 2. Now it's your fault. This is going to be the last card we ever see of hers, though.
The last
As-
new card. Of
Last new
hers.
card.
Well, we
Last new
may
card.
get reprints, but no. Jaya is Jaya was
Bye-bye.
too powerful. They had to nerf her into the grave.
Did you to do something story related real quick? Do you see what exactly happened to her though?
No, I haven't read that far yet. Do not tell me. I don't
Okay,
wanna,
never mind
I want to. Did you see the? What we can talk about is, did you see the advertisement for the Jaya Ballard Secret Lair?
Yes.
They had like a
Yes.
page for like her funeral invitation, and if you pressed F on the webpage, it would pay respects and drop the flower. And I'm like, oh Jesus!
Oh, I did that.
Yeah,
I did.
her death is displayed on the card Extinguish the Light. To which, what is her mana cost?
She is 2 red.
Funny enough, the card that has Jaya's death on it does not get the full benefits for killing Jaya.
To be fair, I don't think anything when it kills Jaya should get the full benefits. If I'm being honest.
Johnny did. So
That's fired.
yeah, I mean, she's good. She pumps out tokens. She does burn damage. She can give you card selection. And then if you get her to ult, she copies spells. She does literally everything a red planeswalker wants
Yeah,
to do.
if your opponents let you get her to ult, they deserve to lose.
Yeah, could you be like, oh yeah, 1 red mana, lightning bolt, 9 damage to your face.
I like the -2 ability the best so far because it's such a very interesting ability. Like I don't think we've seen a mechanic like that where it's like, yo, choose a target creature. Then if you attack this turn, Jaya shoots them for however many creatures attacked.
Yeah.
So I think
Like I like that.
I think she goes really hard in a mono red spell slingers aggro deck. Like
Mono red prowess deck, honestly.
Mono red prowess deck, yes. I will definitely be thinking about building one very soon.
Monastery
there's-
Swiftspear just got reprinted in Double Masters
If
2022.
only she could be my commander.
Play Oathbreaker. She can.
If only I could find people to play Oathbreaker with.
I've been trying.
So, Rye, who is your favorite legendary?
I don't think anyone's gonna be really shocked about this one. Favorite legendary for me is Rivaz of the Claw.
No, the Vishino, very specifically, who cares about dragons
I
and
believe
is a
it's pronounced
Manador for
Vishino.
dragons?
I believe it's pronounced
Don't worry,
Vishino.
mine is a less of a surprise.
Oh no. But yeah, so Rivaz is 3 mana, red, black, and 1 for a legendary creature, Vishino Warlock. It has Menace, and then has has 1 ability where you can tap, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon creature spells. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard. Whenever you cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard, it gains when this creature dies, exile it.
No, I think
That
it's great.
is
There's an ability missing on this.
absurd.
There's an ability? Menace. Did you say Menace?
Oh no, Riff is the one that gives Dragon's War to. Never mind.
Oh,
Oh,
could you
yeah.
imagine if he did more?
Oh, yo, no, Rith was
No,
almost.
Ravaz, he already does enough.
He does.
Mana Dork, able to cast dragons from the graveyard. Like,
Also,
He goes like, oh, hey. Right, it's like, oh, hey, I'm playing Ur Dragon. Oh, you kill my Ur Dragon? I'm just going to send him to the graveyard. Ravaz, I'm going to play him back from the graveyard. Oh, he died. He has to get exiled. He's going to command zone.
Also, I'd like to say that Via Shino are now being printed again in standard. But
They are. They've really made it.
When we got the Dragonborn commander from AFR, he wasn't a Via Shino because Dragonborn aren't the Via Shino equivalent. They are dragons.
Right.
According to the way Magic the Gathering works. And I'm like, that's kind of funny.
But yeah, I saw Ravaz and I saw his stained glass treatment. I'm like, I need that card now.
Do be kind of dope though.
I think he's pretty absurd.
Yeah. It was between him and Rith. I'm actually very glad Rith got reprinted.
Only one of the Elder Dragons got reprinted.
Well, only two got printed in the other one.
Well, with that note,
your
I guess
unsurprising legend.
My unsurprising legend, don't go chasing landfalls. Soul of Windgrace. One of my very first commander decks was Lord Windgrace.
Was also one of your most powerful at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, at the time, yeah. And now he put a stipulation on his own freaking soul and said, if the Phyrexians return, I'm coming back. And yeah, the Black Panther has returned.
He's green now.
The Soul of Windgrace is a 1 black, green, red for a 5/4 legendary creature cat avatar.
Catvatar.
Whenever Soul of Windgrace enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield tapped and under your control. When I reread that ability this morning, I realized he says a graveyard, which means you can start stealing lands from your opponents.
Hey, yo.
Oh,
yeah, it is.
Nice fetch land you sacrificed, sicko. Mind if I get a turn?
Oh, you're a landfall deck too? Me too. I'm just going a little slow, so I'll take that Arid Mesa.
That landfall
just so I could...
going to get wild, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
He is...
Yeah, he also has 3 activated abilities. For a green and discard a land card, you gain 3 life. For a 1 and a red and discard a land card, you draw a card. And then finally, for 2 and a black and discard a land card, Soul of Windgrace is indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. He's got built-in protection, built-in card draw, built-in life gain, and wants to steal lands from your opponents. Everything I want to do. Everything.
Oh no, it is good. Like I saw him, I'm like, well.
My favorite part is the fact that is that he shows up and goes, "Hi, Phyrexians, how's it going? Weren't you dead? No,
weren't you?
Not anymore. I thought you were dead too.
The feeling's mutual. Oh. Now die."
Here you go. No, here you go. For thousands of years I have slumbered. Who was disturbed my rest?
Oh, you son of a bitch! And then just a roar. I actually like to think that he gets up and he goes, "What do you mean one of my own kind is a Phyrexian? A Leonin? What the fuck is a Leonin? I'm a panther. A lion? Oh no! Get the hell over here! I will kick your ass!" Which actually is, now that all the borders are crossing, that's the fight I want to see. I want to see Windgrace versus a Johnny. Johnny just go, "You're one of my great ancestors. Yeah, you could get fucking ass whooping." Just shows up with his like staff. Just, ah!
And Johnny goes, "Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary."
He just gets smacked across the face with a staff. Shut up! Goddamn disgrace.
Windgrace negs the entirety of the Phyrexian army.
No, it's just his soul, so it's definitely not. He's probably not as strong as he was before.
Probably not.
But much like his actual Planeswalker commander card, still cares about lands.
Yep.
He actually specifically he still cares about discarding lands, and I think the actually really nice thing is you could discard lands to his abilities and then attack with him to get those lands back. You never actually lose them. So like while the one red discard a land card, draw a card does seem like rummaging, which is the red basic ability of discarding a card to draw a card.
Yep.
Yes, but since he can get the land card back, are you really losing anything?
No, fair. And that's a good way to look at it.
And attack
Like,
stat,
yeah, like,
but like
yeah.
whatever. You were going to explain
Yeah,
anyway.
also on top of the fact that he's a 5/4 for 4 mana, he's a pretty relevant stat line. He
Oh,
can
yes.
beat you to death pretty easily. And he
Yeah.
can give himself indestructible, which is
Yes.
actually also very powerful.
during.
Yeah, if you had
attack
ways to
phase.
like, yeah,
Yep.
if you had ways to like untap them and everything, like, oh my god,
You could you could swing and then in response to his trigger, pay the
That's
3 mana
true.
to discard a land card, make him indestructible,
He's
and
already
then bring
tapped.
that land
Yeah.
back.
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
already tapped, so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, he's tapped
Yeah,
and
like,
attacking, so yeah, no,
Exactly. I think he's absurd. He's only 4 mana. He's a 5/4. He's got nothing but upside. He's a very good card in my personal
oh
opinion.
yeah, he's a solid young commander, honestly.
But
Oh,
now that
good.
we're out of that,
Number 3s.
let's talk about our number 3s. So we're gonna have Shannon go first because we did discuss a little bit of what our lists look like.
Oh yeah, we have to
Ryan,
discuss.
Jasper, and I may have been a little on the nose with how we feel about this next card. So we're gonna let Shannon go first.
Oh.
She didn't get the memo.
Wait. No, I didn't.
We
no,
we all
I,
have different we all have different preferences. This is just Shannon's. It's just that Jasper, Ryan, and I were looking at the cards and like, wow, these are stupid powerful cards.
Put them on the list.
So
altogether.
all right. So mine. I mean, regardless of those cards, let's focus on me. This is also pretty good too.
Watch her have the same number 3 as the rest of us.
No.
No, she doesn't.
So for number 3 we have Balmor, Battle Mage Captain.
This guy is very strong though.
I like
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy.
For
Oh, this guy's no
a
pushover.
blue and a red for a bird wizard. He's flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain trample.
Cause
until end of
why
turn.
not?
Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, he's going in the 99 for Kaikar. Like,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no,
holy
absolutely.
bonkers.
Like the 99 of
Give
Kaikar.
all my spirits flample.
Like the fact that he gives them +1/+0 and trample.
The trample part's what gets you.
He's an uncommon for 2 mana. He's
Yeah.
a 1/3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Where the hell did you come from?
Is he in the story at all?
Probably.
No, not that I've seen.
Even the most hardened armies are ill-equipped to defend against an onslaught from the sky. I don't know which part of the sky he's from, actually.
I believe Shannon in Pioneer, it's blue-red phoenixes, right?
Yes. Right now.
He slots very nicely into that deck, giving all those phoenixes +1/+0 and trample for each instant and sorcery cast. Are you shitting me?
Oh yeah, no, good God.
Yeah, he's only 2 mana. He's only 2 mana.
Mm-hmm.
But I there's one last little thing I want to talk about. It's gonna be on power creep because Dominaria is pushing right against the fucking ceiling. My personal opinion. So that is Shannon's, and then for our number 3, Ryan, Jasper, you want to say it at the same time? 1, 2, 3. The Defiler cycle. Yeah, these things are
You
absurd.
couldn't have done that more in sync.
These things are absurd. But I will say this: all of the
You pick
Defiler
a Defiler.
cycle.
I pick a Defiler. I'll pick a Defiler.
That's
The
literally
one
I
that-
have a
Okay,
Which
Ryan,
one do
what's your
you like?
Defiler?
Defiler of Dreams.
Jasper.
Defiler of Faith.
I went with Defiler of Vigor.
Yeah.
So Rye, what does Defiler of Dreams do?
So Defiler
So,
of Dreams.
well, to keep it simple, we will say that all the Defilers have an ability where whenever you cast a permanent spell of the color that matches it, you could pay 2 life to take off a colored pip on it.
It
And
gives
then
you Phyrexian mana, but not
effectively,
Phyrexian mana?
yes. It gives you Phyrexian mana on your permanents. So Rye, what does Defiler of Dreams do?
Yeah, so Defiler of Dreams, like as Bill mentioned, for this one, it is the blue permanent. So additional cost, you can pay 2 life, and it reduces the spell's cost by blue for each life that was paid this way. And then whenever you cast a blue permanent, you draw a card. Like it's just, so any blue permanent you play, if you want to pay the life, reduces the amount of blue, just draws you cards. Like not the strongest out of them, but it's definitely consistent.
Jasper?
So the reason I went with Defiler of Faith as my like outlier is that white has a lot of life gain already.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, listen, this is free spells with no downside really.
Yep.
It's like what
That's-
you'll pay 2 life to cast a spell. Oh, you gain 2 life because you cast a this permanent into the battlefield. Also, when you cast a white permanent, you get a 1/1 soldier, so that's 1 more life. In fact, I think someone on Twitter cited like an infinite combo with this and another card that was like going around.
It's probably Fleecemane Lion and Hazaret's Monument and like one of
Probably.
the souls.
Yeah,
one of the
probably.
soul
Ketra's
sisters.
Monument.
That's what I meant. Catcher's
Yeah,
Monument.
it's like, hey, this is so good, and mono white.
It
needs
gives you
things that are
it
so
gives you
good.
infinite 1/1 soldiers with no downsides.
Oh,
It's absurd. The one I went with is Defiler of Vigor. It's the green one, so it is 3 green for a 6/6 with trample. So you have to be thinking to yourself. 5 mana, 6/6 with trample. There has got to be downside, right?
is that?
And you are 1000% wrong. Because whenever you cast a green permanent spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That's it. That's where that stops. Green permanents, you pay 2 life instead of a green. And if you cast a green permanent, you get counters on all your creatures. Not target creature, each creature. What the fuck, Wizards?
Yeah.
What the hell are you thinking? Why? What? Who in the RD department went? Nah, 6 mana is too much for that. Make it 5. Who was thinking that? Because it should have been 7. This could have. So you could have changed the text from each creature to target creature, and this thing still would have been the best out of them.
Ugh.
I
It's
don't disagree.
absurd.
At least
Yeah.
they had the
Think
forethought
about
to make
how
the,
many things double or add additional +1/+1 counters in the set. Could you imagine if you have Vorinclex down and you cast a green permanent spell that's an enchantment? You just cast a green enchantment, like, I don't know, Hardened Scales. And now Vorinclex and this thing get 2 +1/+1 counters each, turn them both into 8/8s.
Where you got Doubling Season, Parallel Lives.
Primal Vigor.
Yep.
Primal Vigor might only be tokens, but I
can double check. I'll double check that.
But like, what were you thinking, Wizards? Come on.
on the
This
other
is
hand,
absurd.
On the other hand, let's say
We
the forethought
do have
to
2 more.
discount the other 2. Oh, we're on the same topic. Yeah, so Defiler Flesh,
Yeah.
Defiler of Instinct. Defiler of Instinct says whenever you cast a red permanent, deal 1 damage to any target, and
I'll
the
do
black
Flesh then.
You'll do Flesh. Great. Love to
Yeah.
hear it.
Oh.
So heads up, just real quick. Primal Vigor does double tokens too. Double tokens
Yep.
and counters.
Okay. Cool. Yep. There you go. Defiler Flesh is 2 black for a 4/4 with Menace. As an additional cost, you cast black permanent spells, pay the 2 life for removes a black pip. Whenever you cast a black permanent spell, target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains Menace until end of turn.
Which is like, would have been great.
None of these effects are bad.
No.
None of them
No.
are bad. I want to say the one that feels the most underwhelming is Instinct.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. To
Would
be
you
If
say
fair,
it
was-
was 2 damage to any target, it would still have been good.
to be fair, if you're
Mhm.
playing mono red aristocrats, you've got Torbran on the board. This is red permanent 4 damage.
Yeah, and I get that. It just feels very underwhelming. You know what I mean?
Or who's the red
I think
The
if
red
you're
black.
like,
Obosh.
Obosh, that's what it was.
The Prey Piercer.
I think if you're running mono red aggro and you've got things that are like damage multipliers on board, I think if you set up Defiler of Instinct, it'd become a terrifying card because I'm like, I'll lose 2 life, you'll lose 3. I'll lose 2 life, you lose 3. Here's me playing a bunch of 1/1 red goblins or whatever, and this thing's just machine
And I can
gunning you the
understand
fuck down.
Oh yeah.
The Defiler of Flesh giving Menace and +1/+1 is
Mid.
still pretty nice.
It's
Mhm.
mid.
Um,
It's
I'm
it's
imagining-
the weakest of them
No, I still think Instinct's the weakest.
I still think Instinct's
by
a weakness.
itself. Yeah.
Like we have to look at them by themselves because I believe Instinct's what, a 5/4?
4/4. with first strike.
So the like to keep something in consideration, none of them can block the Defiler of Flesh. It has menace.
Mhm.
But I mean, the problem is the Vigor's still a 6/6 with trample.
It needed to be a 6/6.
For
Green
5
needed to be on
mana.
top.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Sorry.
All right. So I think we spent enough on the Defilers.
Number 2. Let's go with Ryan.
So aside from dragons and bears, my other favorite creature in Magic is actually, fun enough. Well, I say gorillas, but they're referred to as apes. So mine is the silverback.
Turn 2 monkey.
Silverback Elder is my number 2. This creature is, good lord, is so resourceful. So it is 3 green and 2, so 5 mana for a 5/7 ape shaman. Which when it's on the field, it has whenever you cast a creature spell, you choose one. You either destroy target artifact or enchantment. You look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped, and you put the rest of your library in any order, or you gain 4 life. So this thing is removal, it is ramp, and it is life gain. This thing is for a 5/7, so it isn't even easy to kill. This thing is disgusting.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree.
Like, if it wasn't for my number 1, I think this might have been my number 1.
There are so many cards in Dominaaria. And yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit about Power Spike towards the end of this, because there are 3 legendary creatures that I really want to talk about that did not make my list out of this sheer principle that I did not want them to be on there.
You got that right.
So we'll go with Shannon, number 2.
Oh, hold on. Oh, mine's Sheila Dread, the Apocalypse.
Yep.
She's back.
She was
She's
making
back. And honestly, she's better than ever.
What do you think about
Holy
her,
crap.
Shannon? Why did
This
she make
bitch
your
scary.
list?
I mean, she's freaking scary.
Yeah.
Shannon,
I
why
know
don't you read her?
that.
Why don't you read her card? Let's read her card. Let's all bask in the ugliness. This
2
is this.
black and 2 legendary creature Phyrexian Praetor for a death touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life.
Ow, my soul.
She's honestly even worse than Nekusar.
She's. It's. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
Oh, she is brutal. She is brutal in
Let's
Beyond
dissect
Belief.
this bit by bit.
Hey, so first of all, she
Okay.
goes infinite with Lich's Mastery. Just wanna.
Yeah, she does.
Oh.
She does.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The only problem is it doesn't do anything though. It's not like it kills your opponents.
Draws your deck,
It does draw your deck,
and
but
you
if
don't
you're
lose the game.
yeah, but the problem is nothing stops you from discarding.
Yeah, no, but you just got to get your bullshit out. Bolus's Citadel. There you go.
I don't know. Have you heard of the card called Peer into the Abyss?
Channel.
Hate that card.
Peer into the Abyss, kill somebody.
Oh,
Well,
it does.
Oh.
It's
yeah.
a good card.
I mean-
I hate the artwork.
She also works. Well, I was talking about this earlier. I actually really like how she both utilizes and weaponizes black card draw.
Oh yeah.
There is a mono black wheel where it makes everybody discard their hands and everybody draws that many cards -1. So if you hit somebody who had, say, like 10 cards in hand, they'll discard 10 cards, only draw 9, and lose 18 life.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
Or
if
could
you
just
discard
run, like, I don't know, Teferi's Puzzle Box.
Teferi's Puzzle Box also legitimately kills your opponents.
I was like straight up. Wait, no cap. What?
Oh no, it does. The
Oh,
Fairy's
yeah.
Puzzle
You
Box
have
is
to
disgusting.
put your hand on the bottom during your draw step. You put your hand on the bottom of your library and then draw that many cards.
Yep.
It will straight up massacre people. It's really rude.
Yep.
So funny enough, there's always the we'll put out the 4 Praetors that have been reprinted real quick, which are Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider, Jin Gitaxias, Progress Tyrant, Urabrask, Heretic Praetor, and now Sheila the Apocalypse. I easily think she's number 2. I easily think she's actually above Vorinclex in power.
I can see that.
Because Vorinclex
yeah.
needs other cards to be good. To be
She
really
just
good.
does it.
She's just, hey, if she's on the board long enough, you'll lose. Just wait for it.
Yeah, because like on top of that, we've got something that is very cheap. It's very cheap. It's 4 mana for a 4/5 with Death Touch.
She sacrificed a Swamp Walk for Death Touch.
I really
so,
like her flavor text on this card.
Oh yeah,
Gix
like,
failed.
Gix
I
failed.
won't.
I shall not. And I'm like,
oh, I shall not.
That's not like I'll try not to. This is, she's making a statement.
And
God.
She literally is coming and saying, "I am here to kick ass and take names." And
so
I'm
we're talking about her in a
everything.
commander format. I actually want to kind of talk to her about a standard
names.
format. In constructed 60 card formats, she actually annihilates there as well. Because like in the current cycle, while she'll be in standard, there is a card called Blood Pact. It's 2 and a black for an instant. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. I love how she weaponizes black card draw. Because you can go, hey, I have 6 mana, tap for 6, target you with both Blood Pacts. Yeah, you're going to draw 4 cards. You're also going to lose 12 life.
Yeah.
Like, it is absurd what she can do. She also takes all black card draw and for you that you can't target anybody else with and immediately makes it amazing.
That math doesn't add up. Blood Pact is draw 3 cards or draw 2?
It's draw 2, lose 6. It's draw 2, lose 2 for the spell.
Yeah.
So you would draw 2, lose 2, but then you've drawn 2 cards, so you lose 2 life for each card.
So
it's
there we go. Okay.
3 mana. It's 3 mana.
Yeah,
you get 2 cards, but you're going to lose 6 life.
Yeah, okay. That's why I'm like, wait, that math doesn't add up.
Yeah,
I didn't know the card had to lose.
Like they mentioned, but like Shannon mentioned, Peer into the Abyss just with Shield Dread on the field is just
nuke
6
someone.
mana, you die.
Yeah.
My favorite part is the fact that you can play the Veto and Sanguine Bond or Exquisite Blood, and you literally don't even need to do it on your turn. You don't need to do it on your turn. You go, pass. Go to your draw step, my friend. Please. You win on somebody else's draw step.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I only due to the fact that Jin counters and double spells, do I still believe he is the strongest of the Praetors that has been released in this most recent cycle.
But
in my personal opinion, the standing goes Jin, Shield Dread is very close behind, Vorinclex, and obviously Urabrask.
So I have a fear. These Phyrexians getting pretty strong. We don't have Norn yet. Wizard was like, we promised to make white super good. I'm so scared.
Yo, I'm afraid to see what
Norn's
Norn's going to do.
Upsettingly disgusting.
Scared.
I have a feeling that she's probably going to deal with tokens where like you create double and your opponents create half.
I mean,
it would still make her something in white. Give yourself double of something, half your opponent for something. But there's a lot of speculations. We just don't know. She could deal with life gain, and I kind of hate that.
I don't want.
I really hope she doesn't.
I hope she's to do with like casting costs, where all my stuff costs 2 less, yours costs 2 more.
I mean, good.
I would like to give it for that every card you have above me in my hand, my spells cost 1 less, and for every one you have above me, they cost 1 more.
For every permanent you control, my cards cost 1 less. For every permanent I control over you, your cards cost 1 more, or something.
Well, I'm thinking like cut a deal is 2 and a white. I have 1 card in hand, but you have 6, so this spell costs 6 less to cast. So for 1 white, cut a deal. Now I draw 3 cards. Everybody else draws 1. I now have 3 cards, and you've got 7. And now these spells in my hand still cost 4 less, but the spells in your hand cost 4 more. I.e., the other side of white is a hate bearer effect, to which I very much imagine that Elish Norn could do that. So
yeah, I mean,
we'll have to see.
Time will tell.
That is oppressive amounts of hate bearer though. Like she'd be awful to go up against.
Good pick, Shannon.
Very good pick.
Very good pick. Shieldred was on my list for a bit, and I just kept going back and forth. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, she's off.
So then I believe we're on Jasper's number 2.
Yes.
My Jasper number 2. My number 2 is actually Plaza of Heroes as well, which we mentioned. We talked about during the honorable mention, so I won't spend too much time with it. It's Plaza of Heroes. You know what it does. It's the Commander card. It was so good, I put it on my list.
All right. Ryan, did you do your number 2?
Yes,
You did.
I did it first. I was the silverback
Will, what's
shaman.
your number 2?
My number 2 is Shadow Rite Priest.
Well, shit.
Hey.
Now, I believe that's your number 1, correct?
It is.
So we'll group your number 1 and my number 2 together. So Shadow Rite Priest is 1 and a black for a 2/2 creature human cleric. Other clerics you control get +1/+1. So cleric lord. But on top of that, 3 black, tap, sacrifice another cleric, search your library for a black creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle.
Hey, 5 mana Shieldred. Got it.
5 mana Shieldred? I'm thinking 5 mana Runescar Demon. Just continue the tutors.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm thinking 5 mana Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. I'm thinking 5 mana go grab Crick, Son of Yawgmoth. Go grab Yawgmoth. Go grab original Shieldred. Go grab so many freaking things. It's upsetting.
What's the Scourge of Naltoth dragon thingy?
Yeah.
Right?
Go grab Skittles. Go grab Grave Titan.
There.
Go
Yeah,
grab
Shadow
any
Rite
manner of
Priest.
foul ass demons that this thing could
Oh
get.
yeah. Just for paying 5 mana and sacking another cleric, like.
So this slots. Let's be realistic. In Commander, this slots into the Shadowborn Apostles deck.
Stop.
Oh yeah.
This replaces some of them because now it turns the Shadowborn Apostles. You now hit one of 2 conditions. This thing is able to activate its ability, which by the way does not say activate as a sorcery, so you can do this at instant speed. Just saying.
You know, if this said activate as a sorcery, this guy would not have been number 1 on my list.
No, I don't even think he'd be on my list. The fact that he does not say but the Cleric Lord, I think, is the inconsequential part of him personally. There are a lot of party decks that are going to appreciate him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because you can go.
I mean, those current
stronger party members.
The most current party deck was a white-black deck. So,
Mhm.
And he's a cleric.
yep.
Yep.
There is
rogues and other things like
there
that.
is Tabrax Hope's Demise, who is a demon cleric that cares when clerics die.
Yeah.
So
you could run him as like.
yeah, I mean, there's plenty of places this guy could be.
Good.
I think he's
Macias
very
counts
good
too, doesn't he? Macias?
The Unhallowed?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Macias the Unhallowed is a zombie cleric.
For real?
I forgot. That's why I ordered the Livia Prima secret lair. Because Macias comes in there and I'm putting him in my legendary party deck. Because I'm an a-hole.
Nice. Is that the last number 2?
That is the last number 2. And that was also, technically speaking, Ryan's number 1. Ryan, any last things to say about it?
No, but the only thing I have, aside from what we were talking about, his flavor text is hilarious.
Backstabbing
Go ahead, read
is
it.
common.
Wait. Let Ryan read it.
Oh no, you're good.
Backstabbing is common within demonic cults. So are front stabbings.
Front and side stabbing.
So are front and side stabbings. It's just like going into like a used car dealer lot. This thing's got so many stabbings.
Slaps cult. This guy can fit so many stab wounds.
So many stab wounds. All right. So
Number
let's
ones.
say Shannon. What is your number 1? Technically speaking, we only need to do you and Jasper because my number 1 was already talked about.
Well, my number 1 is Braid, Arisen Nightmare.
Yeah, she's a fucking nightmare, all right.
Braids.
She was a nightmare when her original card got banned, and now she's a nightmare again. She a bitch.
Yeah. Do we know how she became a nightmare in the story? I have no idea.
Oh,
I believe there's a side story. I have not read it.
I have not read it either. I'll read it afterwards. I'll let you know.
Sure. All right.
Someone was
well,
like,
anyway,
Braids, I can fix her.
At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. Pretty good.
Yes.
So
You sit there.
I
just
was talking about
sacrificing
this on
lands.
I was talking about this on my stream on Monday. Which is the fact that she lists every permanent type, but does not list not the word non-land does not list the word permanent, which led us to believe that like maybe we have another permanent type coming. And somebody explained their personal reasoning was from a arena standpoint, the more words it sees, then the less it has to actually calculate. Like, oh, it saw the word artifact, so it knows to check the opponent for an artifact. And I was like,
Yeah.
So it's
okay.
a templating thing.
Yes. Still weird. I kind of wish it did just say permanent.
Listen, no. Here's the thing: Arena is on some spaghetti code nonsense, and the guys who originally programmed it don't work for Wizards anymore, so they can't even fix it.
But yeah, she is
Mhm.
disgusting. The only thing that stinks is you cannot force your opponent to sacrifice. They have to choose.
Hey, listen,
true.
it's either you lose the permanent or I get an extra card in hand, which isn't a downside. I would like
but
this.
the thing is, like, this, like, she goes perfectly in Marin, because it's like, oh, I'll sack a thing and get an experience counter. Hell yeah. And then if you don't take your crap, then, oh, I draw cards to get more creatures to play next turn.
Or if you're in like a landfall deck, or if you're in like a deck that has Crucible of Worlds, you're like, I'll just cycle a land every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like her as a mono black token commander, because then you're just sacrificing tokens for value and watching your opponents have to sacrifice their actual creatures.
She's an aristocrat's commander. It's like you're
Though-
supposed to sacrifice cultists in her
I was about to
name.
say, though, you do something with her along the lines of like Dictate of Erebos. So now it's sack a creature. No, now you have to sacrifice 2 creatures, and on one of them you have to sack it. There's no choice. The second one you don't have to, but you lose 2 life and I draw a card. That actually
Right.
hurts people really bad, because then you can just go, I'm gonna sack this creature. You only have 1 creature. You're forced to sack it, and then you have to lose 2 life, and I definitely draw a card.
Yeah, it's mean.
Oh no, she can be mean. No,
And
yeah,
then you
she
pair
can
it
be mean.
with the background agent of the Iron Throne. Commanded creatures you own have whenever an artifact or creature you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
that
you
sounds
run
nice.
all the
So-
aristocrats pieces. You'll run like Marionette Master in here as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just
Butcher of
watch her.
Valkyr. Yeah.
Yeah, Sir Conrad,
Oh
All of
yeah.
them.
Blood Artist,
All of
Faction of
them.
Remembrance.
Yep.
All of them.
Yep. So that is that number 1. So Jasper, what is your number 1?
I chose a good boy. My number 1 is Joda, the Unifier.
Ooh.
For white, blue, black, red, and green, he is a legendary creature, human wizard. With legendary creatures you control, get +X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. Whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with a lesser mana value. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost, put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. So I chose this card for 2 reasons. 1, it's very good. It is just the Justice League deck.
Oh yeah.
2, I've been looking for a Wooburg commander to run, and Joda was like, yo, I heard you like Legends.
Yeah.
There you go. Legends commander. He is...
Jasper, I can promise you I will not steal this one from you.
I can tell you that I'm not technically stealing it from you, but he's absolutely going in my Tazri legendary party deck.
I don't blame you. He's a wizard.
I just want...
And he cares about legendary creatures.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't have much to say about him other than like, damn, I really like the fact that he like
No,
pumps Legends
he's solid.
for Legends' sake.
and on
Yeah.
top of that, he cascades for legends.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's really naughty. Like it's so
Yo, I'm going to cast Niv Mizzet Reborn and cascade into bullshit, only to cascade into more bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna order the triggers like this.
Yeah, this is just more
Because
bullshit.
You got Niv Mizzet Reborn trigger, look at the top 10 cards, and then you
You're
got Joe's
playing Niv
trigger.
Mizzet Reborn
I'm-
with Jode on the field, and I just go, you have 5 minutes to finish your fucking turn.
Well,
Deadass.
the Niv Mizzet ability resolves quick.
Yeah. Top 10, do your thing, and then cascade for legendaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like him. I honestly really like him as an anthem for my Tazri deck. Standard, however,
No.
and other formats, gonna be interesting. Yeah. He could definitely work.
I don't know if there's enough legends to like
If
feel,
I-
like,
yeah.
runnable.
If I-
There's legends in every set.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there is, but like I don't know if there's enough legends that are like
Legit,
cheap and
if-
good to
I will say, if
consistently
someone
be-
pulls him during pre-release and tries to run him, they will earn my respect. I'm like, you can take it.
All right,
honestly,
I
you
won't
play
come in
him-
for that respect.
Right?
If you match up against me.
So with that out of the way, this has been our personal top 5 of Dominaria United as we get ready for the rest of the Phyrexian year. I was joined by Shannon, Jasper, and Ryan. I have been one of your hosts, Will. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure you catch our live stream of season 2 with our first arc, Theros Black Sun,
It's gonna be a doozy.
back on September
That'd be fun.
25th.
It's gonna be spicy.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, and those of non-specified genders, have a wonderful night.